the stories would come out. So apparently, according to other journalists, we found out that there were a lot of porcupines.
Samantha Markle breaks her silence, unleashing a shocking DNA bombshell that instantly ignites global speculation and reopens the darkest fractures in the Markle family. As old wounds resurface and new accusations spiral online, Meghan and Harry brace for impact, and the world demands to know what this revelation truly exposes. DNA bombshell goes public. Samantha breaks silence from Florida. Samantha Markle shocks the media after a new interview filmed in Florida explodes online, where she claims to hold a DNA bombshell that exposes what she calls dark family secrets. She hints at ancestry results and documents that allegedly contradict parts of Meghan's public story, but she releases no actual tests. The panic begins when Royal Watch accounts turn the phrase into a viral headline, attaching it to old accusations Samantha has repeated since 2018, sparking fresh confusion. Yet official records still state Meghan was born August 4, 1981 in Los Angeles, and graduated from Northwestern in 2003. Facts. Samantha's hints fail to challenge. But the contrast doesn't slow the noise. Instead, it widens the gap between documented truth and Samantha's latest insinuations. Inside Montecito, Meghan's team studies Samantha's claims closely, especially because online misinformation has repeatedly triggered real-world threats. Meghan once said she was the most trolled person during 2019, a statement that makes this new attack feel personal, not just dramatic. Behind the scenes, Harry and Meghan brace for another storm as YouTube channels and X threads twist Samantha's vague comments into something far bigger. Still, the story's core question remains unanswered. If Samantha truly has DNA evidence, why offer only hints instead of proof? And that leads directly into the next chapter. How Samantha's new claims collide head-on with the hard records that define Meghan's documented life. Reopening old wounds. How Samantha's claims clash with documented facts. Samantha Markle returns to familiar talking points, insisting Meghan reinvented her past, from her upbringing to her education, and even suggests the royal family was fed porcupines, her word for lies, when Harry first met her. These themes echo interviews Samantha has been giving since 2016, but this time she ties them to her new DNA narrative, implying genetic proof will expose hidden truths. Online commentators quickly amplify these claims, despite public records showing Meghan's birth year as 1981, not the alternative years Samantha has floated. Northwestern University still lists Meghan among its 2003 graduates, with archived reminders of her double major intact, countering fringe claims she faked her degree. Legal precedent also pushes against Samantha's version. In 2023, a federal judge dismissed her $75,000 defamation suit, ruling Meghan's description of herself as having grown up as an only child was an opinion, not a factual assertion. That ruling struck a major blow to Samantha's attempts to frame Meghan's words as provable lies. Yet, emotionally, the conflict runs deeper than paperwork. To Samantha, Meghan's Oprah remark felt like erasure, a sister wiping out an entire branch of her family. To Meghan, it was an expression of estrangement, not a biological claim. That divide fuels Samantha's new angle. If Meghan rewrites the past, she argues, then DNA becomes her tool to correct it. And to understand how these wounds opened in the first place, we have to step back into the complicated Markle family history long before royalty entered the story. Dark family history. The Markles before royalty. Long before Meghan entered the global spotlight, The Markle family was already shaped by fractures, distance, and unresolved wounds. The story begins with Thomas Markle Sr., a Hollywood lighting director who first married Rosalind Lovelace, with whom he had 2 children, Samantha, born 1964, and Thomas Jr. After their 1975 divorce, Thomas rebuilt his life in Los Angeles, where he later married Doria Ragland. In 1981, they welcomed their daughter, Rachel Meghan Markle, creating a blended family with significant age gaps and divided childhoods. These differences matter. Samantha experienced Thomas as a young, stressed father working long studio hours. Meghan knew him as an older, semi-retired parent who encouraged her acting dreams and supported her schooling. 2 daughters, 2 timelines, 2 entirely different emotional realities, and decades later, 2 incompatible memories of the same man. This early fracture becomes the soil where today's accusations grow. Money stress, geographic distance, siblings raised in separate homes, and later Thomas's tabloid involvement created fault lines that never healed. When Meghan's life moved from modest LEA beginnings to Kensington Palace, old resentments resurfaced, especially for Samantha, who describes feeling erased from her sister's story. So when Samantha now pushes DNA bombshells and questions Meghan's identity, she is not exposing new science. She is reviving the same conflicts that have followed this family for nearly 50 years. To see why Samantha insists Meghan rewrote her past, we have to examine how Meghan's documented timeline clashes so sharply with the version Samantha promotes. From LA to Kensington, Meghan's documented path versus Samantha's rewritten version. Meghan's life is one of the most publicly traceable trajectories of any modern public figure. Born in 1981 in Los Angeles, she attended Immaculate Heart High School, later graduated from Northwestern University in 2003, and completed an internship at the U.S. Embassy in Buenos Aires, all verified through long-standing public records. From there, her acting break on Suits in Toronto placed her steadily in the entertainment world until 2016, when she met Prince Harry. Every step of that path is well documented, but Samantha presents a very different version. She claims Meghan polished, exaggerated, or strategically edited her own story, from her academic life to her family relationships, arguing that her sister created a self-made princess narrative that erased inconvenient details. Central to Samantha's resentment is Meghan's Oprah comment about having grown up as an only child, which Samantha interpreted not as emotional truth, but as a literal erasure of her existence. This single line becomes the fuse for Samantha's new DNA storyline. Her argument now suggests that if Meghan can rewrite who her siblings were to her, then she may also have rewritten deeper aspects of her identity, a claim not supported by any official documentation. In reality, the only rewriting happening is Samantha reinterpreting decades of distance as deception. And that's where DNA enters the battle, not as science, but as Samantha's newest weapon in a long-running family wars. DNA as a weapon. How the bombshell is being used in the media war. Samantha's so-called DNA bombshell is less about science and more about strategy. She never releases certified lab reports, verified results, or any document that contradicts the publicly established facts of Meghan's birth in 1981. Yet she speaks as if explosive proof is just one reveal away. This vagueness is intentional. It keeps the story alive without ever being provably false. She frames DNA testing as her final leverage, suggesting she can expose who really belongs, who lied, and who abandoned whom, even though no legitimate outlet has reported any genetic irregularity. Meanwhile, online commentary takes her hints and runs with them. Fringe blogs and viral channels twist her words into extreme theories, swapped identities, altered certificates, hidden relatives. None supported by Northwestern records, embassy internship files, or Meghan's long paper trail from Los Angeles to Toronto. DNA becomes a symbol, not data, a weapon used to embarrass a sister she believes erased her with a single Oprah line about growing up as an only child. But what makes this escalation dangerous is timing. After the 2023 lawsuit dismissal, Samantha's legal path closed, leaving media warfare as her only remaining avenue. DNA rhetoric becomes her loudest card, engineered to sound unanswerable because Meghan cannot disprove a test Samantha refuses to show. And that sets the stage for the next confrontation, a legal battle Samantha already lost, and the public one she refuses to walk away from. Legal crossfire, Samantha's lawsuit, court defeat, and why she's pushing harder now. Samantha's legal war against Meghan began with a $75,000 defamation claim filed in Florida, accusing Meghan of lying about their relationship during the 2021 Oprah interview and in the biography, Finding Freedom. She argued that Meghan's statement about growing up as an only child damaged her reputation, but the judge ruled it was an opinion, not a factual claim that could be proven true or false. In 2023, the case was dismissed. When Samantha amended and refiled, it was dismissed again, leaving her legally cornered and publicly defeated. That loss becomes the emotional engine behind her new DNA bombshell. With courts rejecting her allegations, Samantha shifts the battlefield to media, TV interviews, podcasts, tabloids, where evidence is optional and spectacle is currency. DNA becomes her dramatic fallback, a tool she can reference without providing results, allowing her to claim she still holds the truth, even after the legal system sided with Meghan. Visually, your script can place Samantha in Florida, wheelchair-bound due to MS, surrounded by files and printouts, feeling silenced by the courts but emboldened by online audiences hungry for Markle drama. She leans harder into rhetoric, suggesting genetics can settle what the judge would not. But legally, nothing has changed. Official records still show Meghan born in 1981 to Thomas and Doria, and Samantha has produced no certified DNA evidence to challenge that. And far from the courtroom, the fallout lands hardest in Montecito, where Harry feels the strain of a family war he never expected to inherit. Harry caught in the middle, Montecito tension and emotional fallout. In Montecito, Harry feels the newest surge of Samantha's claims hitting him harder than anyone outside can see. Each time Samantha appears in Florida media interviews, hinting at a DNA bombshell, the story races across platforms and lands squarely in Harry's world, the world he left the monarchy to protect. He has warned since 2022 that misinformation destroys lives, and this moment feels like a painful example of what he meant. To him, Samantha is not exposing secrets. She is fueling a storm that places Meghan and their children back under the shadow he has spent years trying to escape. The emotional fallout grows because Harry understands the mechanics behind these online explosions. He has spoken about coordinated hate campaigns, and when Samantha drops phrases like "DNA doesn't lie," he knows millions will treat it as confirmed fact, even though no certified results have been shown. Harry sees how dangerous a single misleading headline can become, especially in a digital space that has targeted Meghan since 2019. The panic isn't about family drama, it's about safety, reputation, and the mental health cost of endless public scrutiny. At home, silence becomes both shield and burden. The couple's strategy has always been to avoid feeding Samantha's narrative, knowing that direct responses only escalate the cycle. But this time, the accusations cut deeper. DNA insinuations feel more personal, more invasive, and harder to ignore. Harry knows Samantha's lawsuit failure weakened her legal claims, yet he also knows that a dismissed case does nothing to stop the internet from rewriting the story in her favor. Inside the house, the tension is quiet, but real. Meghan feels attacked by someone she barely knows, while Harry carries guilt. Guilt for not being able to resolve the rift, guilt for exposing Meghan to a family feud she never asked for, guilt for watching history repeat itself in a new form. In private moments, he fears Samantha's claims will damage not just public perception, but his children's understanding of their family. And while Harry battles a storm he cannot directly confront, the fight shifts again, toward the deeper question of what's real, what's invented, and what dark secrets truly remain. Dark family secrets versus public records, what's actually true and what's just narrative. The phrase, "dark family secrets," starts trending within hours of Samantha's interview, not because anything new has been proven, but because the internet thrives on mystery. On social media, her hints about documents and DNA that doesn't match mutate into entire timelines crafted by strangers who have never met the Markles. Yet every time these theories gain traction, they crash directly into one immovable wall: public records. Meghan's 1981 birth certificate, school files, and her 2003 Northwestern graduation remain unchanged. They tell a simple story, one that contradicts almost every twist introduced by Samantha's newest narrative. Still, the online storm doesn't slow. Commentary channels splice old family photos, past tabloid headlines, and out-of-context quotes to build a mythology around Meghan's childhood. A mythology far messier, darker, and more dramatic than reality ever was. The real secrets aren't genetic. They're emotional. A father who drifted, a family split across multiple marriages, a set of siblings who grew up in completely different eras of the same man's life. These fractures, long buried under years of silence, now become ammunition for internet detectives desperate for a scandal. Meanwhile, fact-checkers attempt to catch up. They publish comparisons, timelines, legal documents, reminding viewers that Samantha has not released a single verified lab test or certified record to support her insinuations. But in the digital world, truth moves slowly, while speculation moves at lightning speed. And that is where the real danger lies, not in what DNA might reveal, but in how quickly a family story can be rewritten by rumor, resentment, and an audience eager for drama. And with the online chaos growing louder, Samantha's own history, her motives, her struggles, her past, becomes the next battleground in this unfolding feud. Samantha's own story, motives, money, and media strategy. To understand why Samantha keeps pushing the DNA bombshell narrative, you have to look at her own life, a story marked by distance, illness, and long-standing resentment. Born in 1964, she grew up in a completely different generation of the Markle family, experiencing Thomas as a young, ambitious father, while Meghan later knew him as an older, semi-retired man living in Los Angeles. That gap creates two entirely different childhoods, and two entirely different truths. As Samantha's health declined due to multiple sclerosis and her finances tightened, media interest in Meghan became an unexpected lifeline. She wrote the diary of Princess Pushy's sister, appeared in documentaries, and gave paid interviews, all while insisting she wasn't profiting, only speaking truth. But every time one scandal faded, Samantha returned with a sharper angle. First Meghan's age, then Meghan's childhood. Now the DNA storyline. Her critics say this isn't about truth. It's about relevance. After her 2023 lawsuit collapse, Samantha no longer had the legal spotlight she wanted, so the media arena became her main battleground. The DNA bombshell is headline-ready, emotionally loaded, and impossible to disprove if no test is ever shown. But there's another layer: hurt. Samantha feels erased by Meghan's "only child" comment, and every new interview seems driven by that wound more than anything genetic. The feud becomes less about documents and more about identity. Who gets to define the Markle family story? And now the question becomes, what does this escalating DNA drama truly change for Meghan, Harry, and the future of their public legacy? Below is point 10 in 250 words, written in the same dramatic style as your previous sections, while avoiding any defamatory claims and keeping all tension centered on media narratives, emotional impact, and public perception, not unproven allegations. What the DNA drama really changes: reputation, trust, and the next move. The phrase DNA bombshell dominates headlines not because of new proof, but because repetition turns speculation into spectacle. For Meghan, the danger isn't rewritten biology, it's how non-stop noise erodes public trust. Each viral clip and miscaption blurs the line between fact and rumor, making perception harder to protect than reputation. For Harry, the drama stings deeper. He left one system he saw as manipulative, only to watch similar tactics rise within his extended family. When Samantha teases lines like, "The real story is coming," he sees the same misinformation patterns he's warned about for years, leaving him protective and exhausted. For Samantha, the narrative becomes survival. With her lawsuit dismissed, the DNA storyline keeps her relevant, even without documents to support it. And the question hangs, does this saga push the Markles toward healing, or trap them in endless cycles of bombshells and broken trust? The world now waits to see whether the family can ever repair the damage. Will this DNA bombshell reveal truth or deepen the family's divide?